Right. Hi girls. Right, so I thought a lot of you have asked about progressive overload. Exactly what it is in detail, everything. So I've made a whiteboard that I'm going to go through with you now. Exactly what it is to detail. So, am I training hard enough? Now, oh, hiya. This is a question that a lot of you ask yourself, I know. Because even though if you're feeling it, are you still training hard enough? So, right, I'm going to start with adherence. So, with this, you've got, a lot of you have commitments, whether it's a little one, your business, work commitments, relationships, anything like that. This comes under this. So, so for example, if you say to me, Annie, I want 6 training sessions out of my week in my plan. You've got to ask yourself, right, how adherent am I to this? Am I going to actually perform this consistently? And it's okay to say no, because what I would rather is you to say, look, Annie, I can only do 4 workouts a week, but I will give it my all in every single 4. I would rather you do that than me give you 5, for example, and it be rushed and you not getting the full potential out of that workout. So, adherence is number 1. Then this goes on to sustainability. So, for example, I know I say to you girls, right, if you've got to rep 10, you think you've got another 5 in you, keep working. I still stand by that, but safety comes first. Safety is number 1. So, if you say, for example, push yourself more and then you end up having an injury, you're going to spend that time that you could be training actually seeing people to sort out, say your back, say this, say that, because these things have not been right. So, form, number 1. So, your position of your movement, your, say for example, you're in a squat. When you do squat, where are your feet positioned? Where are your legs positioned? Are you all locked in to the point where that weight is not moving? Deadlift. Deadlift is probably one of the hardest techniques possible. But when you do it, and when you've got the muscle connection and you really feel it, you know that you're doing it properly. So from here, tempo. Now we've gone through tempo quite a bit on the Zoom calls. So I know a few of you have asked about, okay, how can I count it? If I'm counting my reps, I've got to count my tempo. So there is an app, but there's also, if you want to take it back a step, so say for example you've got tempo 3, 0, 1, 0. So that's 4 seconds overall. Your reps, you're doing 12 reps. You times 4 by 12. Then put the timer on your phone. That's how long you're going to be doing this tempo for that amount of reps. Okay, so that's an easy way of assessing your progress. Then full range of motion. So when it comes to, say your deadlift for example, are you getting that full range of motion? I would prefer you to go on a lighter weight to get that full range of motion, to feel those benefits of your muscle connection, than loading the weight. Because if you're doing the full range of motion with the load, your safety is going to suffer. So, especially if it's a load that you are not used to. So, sustainability again. If you are going to give it your 110% in week 1, you need to think, right, I need to be smart about this. Week 2, you're going to be underworked. Like, you're going to underwork because you've given it your all in week 1. So, yes, I do say you need to work hard and your maximum effort. However, there is a line where you want to train smartly. Now, I'm probably the first one to be like, oh my God, I've given it my all 1 week. I'm suffering now. I've had it. I've done that. I've been there. What I have learned is the more smart you work, the more results you're going to get, because you are sustainable. So Along with that, you're going to have your weight selection. So I want you to, I think we're going to get to that down here. I'll say it anyway. Weight selection. Say, for example, you are bicep curling 8 kilogram dumbbells in each arm. If you feel like you can do 15 reps out of that 10, and you feel like you're doing 80%, but to get to that 15 reps, that's 100%, that is perfect. If you feel like you can do any more than 15, you can do maybe like 20, you are not working hard enough, so you are not training hard enough. So you're not going to get that progressive overload, where the progressive overload, you're working your muscles, new muscle tissue, the fuel that you get, that you put in your body. So we went through this with the fast digesting carbs, your complex carbs. The carbs that go to that muscle and the energy, you're not going to benefit from it because you're not training hard enough. Right. From here, consistency over perfection. So touch on that here. I would rather you consistently, week in, week out, go through everything properly and sufficiently than trying to get it perfect. So it's on days where you feel, I've had it before, where you have days where you feel like, oh my God, I can't do this. That is where you're going to surprise yourself. And it sounds stupid, but believe me, especially when we get back in gyms or whatever, you are going to feel that. The days where those are the days that you're going to surprise yourself and you're going to be like, oh my God, look at me. So, going on from this, recovery. Now, I go on and on and on about this. Right, can you see this? Recovery. So, sleep is number one. We want to aim to get between minimum 7 hours a night to 9 hours. Some people need more than that. Everyone's different. But roughly, I say 7 to 9 hours. This is going to be about the quality of sleep as well. So between the hours of 1 to 3, that's when your REM sleep is. That's when you're going to get your aid recovery. That is where you're going to recover, your body's in that deep sleep. And this is actually where you dream. That's your dreaming period. So from here, your nutrition. Nutrition, diet. So this is the most important factor over all this. If you can't get this right, this is not going to be right. So as long as you're hitting your macros within a 5 gram mark, so I'm on the macros that you send me and you screenshot on Mighty Networks, this is going to be it. I'm going to be looking at this and monitoring everything. So cardio and active recovery. On a rest day, I still want you to get your steps in, for example. Active recovery, you're still, getting up, doing a few bits, but not too excessively. This is really, really important. So recovery overall is also just as important as the training. Effort. Right, this is the big one. Okay, so I did mention it up here, but effort. So, like I said, with bicep curl, 8 kg for example, you're doing it and you've got the 12 reps that you I've put on your plan, for example. But you feel like you get to 15, you've got an extra 3 to 4 reps in the tank. That is where you should be, because you're giving, when you've got that extra 3 to 4 reps, you're giving that 80% here. If you get to 15, that's when you are working to your maximum effort. I do say, if you are a beginner with all this, I would not be training to failure, and I would not be training to 100%, because I know a lot of you guys, a lot of them, you don't want to admit that you're all like a learner, a beginner, but we've all got to start somewhere. I still go back to my mobility days because I feel like they're so important. But the reason why I say not to go to your 100% maximum effort till failure is because you're still learning about all this. Because if you jump to here, all that's going to happen is one of these is going to be sacrificed, and I'm just going to bring you back to here. And a lot of you girls only get excited when there's a new plan. You're like, yeah, totally get it. But unless you can't get this point, you're not getting the full benefits of training hard enough. So until I see that on the True Coach with the reps that you're putting in, and you're not doing, say, 50% of the workout a week, and you're doing every single workout and getting that progressive overload, and then you start to feel hungry, for example, then I look to put up your calories, because you are training hard enough. You're getting that muscle tissue. Your body is using that energy and it's going to the muscle. So, from here, failure training, only on the last set, and it's an isolation only. So, isolation exercises, for example, we are talking a glute band, for example. You're doing your kickbacks, you're doing your, here we go Annie, you're doing your side kickbacks, abduction exercises, your hip thrusts, and these are isolation only, so you're purposely targeting one particular area. Leg extension. You're doing leg extension, that's an isolated for your quad. Only these types of exercises, so we wouldn't be doing these on more conventional deadlifts or squats or anything like that. So, going over to here, efficiency. So, with the same weight, same reps, when you fill out your True Coach, it isn't just for me to see that you're getting that progressive overload, and week on week, you know, it should be a motivating thing for you to then be like, oh my God, I did this last week. This week, I want to get, you know, extra rep in it. And that's where I can see it. But that's also you monitoring and seeing your motivation within it. So it's not just for me, it's for you as well. So, excursion. If you feel like your weight and your rep, you can't increase one of them when trying to achieve this, then I would look at slowing down your tempo. So tempo being this 3010. If you feel like you can't up this, instead of a 3, put a 6. Take 6 seconds to go down on your squat or your shoulder press. Take longer, because the time under tension, you're increasing that, say from 2 seconds to 4 seconds. That is exactly where the muscle tissue is going to build. That's exactly where we're going to have that progressive overload. I would prefer you to be doing this time under tension and having that control than throwing a load of weight on and then having other risks of injury, form, tempo, range of motion. So, from here, if you feel like, yeah, slowing down the tempo, I do want to eventually increase the weight and the reps, but I'm not quite ready. This is when we go shorter rest periods. So, for example, if I've given you 60-second rest period, push yourself, do it to 40 seconds. Have that short rest period. Then, from here, my main thing I wanted to say is that do not compromise form. If you want to get that extra rep, for example, I see it a lot, you know, where you get shoulder lateral raises and you're going like this, but when you're standing up, you either tense up here and you're going like this. You've got to keep them down, keep your abs engaged, and you've got to really feel it. And if you can only get to here and not here, that's fine. You're doing a bit of a partial movement, but I would rather you get it like that and feel it than getting all tensed up and then maybe like jumping like this. And shorter rest periods, my lovelies. So I hope this, I'll take a picture of it as well and put it on there. I hope this answers everything for your progressive overload. Now, I look forward to actually seeing you do all this, especially when gyms come back. Oh my god, anyone else as buzzing as me? Or is it just me? So, I hope this answers everything for you. Put any questions underneath this and I can always ping back with any other questions you've got. But yes, have a nice day, girls, and I will see you soon.